Welcome to Reset Today with Stephanie J. You just tuned into the show that allows you to reset in any area of your life. So come on and join me. Hit that reset bell and get ready to start fresh. Now, that's my bell. Did you ring yours? Well, I can't see you, so I'll just have to take your word for it. I hope that this day finds you well. It has been about 2 weeks since my last podcast, and it was not on the best note that I left off, and I will talk about that a little bit momentarily, but right now I am blessed to have my favorite young person by my side. I have Christian Dion with me. I asked him just to take a little bit of time out to come and talk with me, so I'm going to have him come in right about now. Say hello, Christian.
Hello, audience.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing good.
All right, so on 2 days ago, you were blessed to celebrate another birthday. Tell the audience how old you are now.
The double 1-1.
All right. And so, how was your birthday?
It was great. Probably the greatest one I've ever had.
And why is that?
I got so many gifts and then went out to eat.
So what kind of gifts did you get?
Well, I got like 4 Lego sets.
4. Wow. Where did you get that from?
My dad.
Okay. And he definitely knows how much of a Lego fan you are. You've been building ever since, oh man, I'm going to say 2 at least. Not directly with Legos. I remember you had Mega Blocks and some other things that we started you off on. And once you got into Legos, you just kind of took off. So you have what type of Legos?
I got like 2 Star Wars sets and one is like really big.
Wow. Okay. Star Wars. And what else?
And 1 Spider-Man and 1 Batman.
Mm-hmm. Some of your favorite characters that your father started you on at a young age. All right. What else did you get?
I got a Star Wars Lego video.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got this black and white globe.
Okay.
I got 2 workout videos.
Mm-hmm.
And I got a car model.
Sounds more like Christmas than a birthday. Okay. Did you get anything else from your dad?
Not that I can think
Maybe a
right
birthday card with a nice bill attached to it.
Oh,
How could
yeah.
you forget that?
Batman and Robin card with $50 taped to it.
Whoa,
From my
$50.
And then I got a wallet, a Captain America wallet with $1 in it.
Wow, so that's great. Did you get anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Your sister didn't send you anything? Your mother didn't order anything for you?
Well, yeah, you ordered a guitar for me.
And what happened to it?
It was damaged when it got here.
Yeah, that was quite a disappointment. But did you like the guitar?
Yeah, it was really nice.
Okay,
Pretty blue.
Mm-hmm. Hey, we said
Yeah, we
that.
said it at the same
Usually
time.
people would say knock, knock, knock on wood back in the day. But yes, I was drawn to it because of the color. You know, blue is my color. And I said, wow, I just have to have that. Unfortunately, I think that they tried to rush it too much because it really wasn't supposed to be shipped until Saturday. And then you actually got it on Thursday. So somewhere along the line, it was damaged. But we're going to handle that. I'm going to take it back to the UPS store tomorrow. And Mom will make another choice, a better choice. And so what'd you get from your sister and brother?
Well, for my sister, I got 3 things. I got an animal atlas. I got a learn to draw book with all these different things. Cupcakes, cars, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got this solar-powered robot thing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to build it.
Right. And you put your Legos away and you immediately started working on that. So that is definitely something of interest. And she also let you know that that was from your brother as well. And he's building something to send to you. So I would definitely say, that you are a very blessed child. Would you agree?
Yes.
Okay. And not just because you are showered constantly with gifts. Your dad and I find all kind of ways to, show our love, and part of that is buying and giving you, because you're just such a grateful child. You're just so generous, so loving, and you really just don't cause problems, and who wouldn't love to show appreciation for a child like you. So I'm grateful that you are growing up and knowing what it is like to really be loved. You really are a wonderful child, and I'm grateful to be your mom. And so you've still been busy with your movies. Tell the listeners just a little bit about what you've been doing on the new platform, iMovie, that you've been working on.
Yeah, this app, you can make real movies. They have all the real stuff, like the scene thing where it fades to black, and music, sound effects, all type of stuff.
Okay. And so, what are you working on in terms of your new movie with that? What theme? Because you moved over from your Lego movies for a while to create this. So what kind of theme, what kind of characters are you working with?
Well, first I was doing like the Marvel characters, and now I just did like some Lego characters.
Okay. So when can I look forward to you at least having the movie completed enough? I've seen your trailer, and I've seen the opening where you put your credits and things like that. It is such a neat app. Anyone who's interested in making their own movie, be it a child or an adult, definitely check out the iMovie app. It had been on my iPhone for the longest time, and then one day I just suggested that he try it out, and I kid you not, it wasn't even a half an hour later, he was actually working on a movie, had made a trailer and everything. And he just, as with anything, he just dives right into whatever he's doing, and it is coming out great. So kind of time frame are you looking at least having a good rough draft of the movie?
What's a rough draft?
It's not finished, but it's enough for us to see where the movie is headed.
Well, the Lego one is almost done. All I have to do is like finish the credits and stuff, and music and stuff like that.
Okay. So what, maybe about another week?
Maybe.
And that's if you can find time between all of your new projects that you're working on. So I'll be looking forward to seeing that. And let's see. So you're about to go and play your Wii game. And what are you going to start off with tonight on your Wii game?
Maybe like Super Mario.
Any other games? See, right now Mom is podcasting, so I can't come and beat you at snowboarding or, bowling or anything like that. But maybe later or maybe tomorrow.
Yeah. But just know, don't rush, because you're just going to have your feelings hurt.
Right. Well, we'll just have to see about that. I thank you so much for your time. And, I'll probably call you a little later and have you do something else, maybe on a brand new day with Stephanie J when I get to that. All right?
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anytime.
All right. So that's my little sidekick. Such a handsome child. And I just want to report something really, really good that has taken place before I get into the pretty gloomy news of why I, have not been in front of the microphone. But I had lost touch with my eldest child through various moves and circumstances. We just somehow lost touch. And at one point, I just could not reach him. Now, through the years, he has relocated to 2 different states. And then he decided to go back home. And so, I just do not know how things progressed the way that they did. And it was very unnerving, I guess you could say, because I just did not know what was going on and just couldn't understand how we could lose contact, because we never had a situation like this before. And somehow he reached out on my old YouTube page, where it's not even a page that I go on. Thank God the notifications were still set on this page, and I'm doing something on my phone one day and I see this message coming up from him. And so I'm grateful for that. See, technology can be a wonderful thing. And, we got in contact a few days later, because I just didn't want to post my number on the page. So I had to tell him, send me an email and then I'll send you my number. And we've been talking the last few days, and it's almost like we just never missed a beat. I'm telling you, especially you mothers out there, never ever stop praying for your children. I was praying relentlessly because my grandson is with him, and I just didn't have a clue what was going on, but I never ever ceased to pray for them. And then so there was a series of things that happened with his telephones, and those of you, this is the part of technology that's not always so good. I've had this happen where your contacts are deleted from your phone, or his phone broke and then all of the contacts were wiped out, and he got a new phone and then he had to start over again, and then there was no information for us to for him to get in touch. So thank God it worked out. And so now I'm resting a lot easier. And I never said it before, but I've talked about restless nights and sleepless nights. And there were many nights that I would wake up out of my sleep and they were on my mind, and I would begin to pray for them and just, God, open up that connection wherever they are. Just keep them. I covered them definitely under Psalm 91. And so, I am so happy. And, we were sending pictures back and forth. And, of course, a reunion is underway. I cannot wait. And so I am feeling so blessed. I love my children and my grands. And I'm just so fortunate that, and I just had to pull over. I didn't even share this with him when I first spoke with him. And then my grandson called me. I was out, we were cleaning my car and getting ready for Christian's birthday the next day. And I just pulled over for a few minutes and I just began to thank God out loud. And I just said, you are so good. And I'm just so grateful. Even in the midst of everything that's going on, you have kept my children and my grandbabies, and you have just been so good to us. And I'm just blessed and fortunate. Yes, I have had many losses and I've experienced many difficulties in life, but all of my children and grandchildren are alive, and I'm so grateful for that. And so I want to take a few extra minutes and just talk a little bit about the situation, and then I'll pick it up on probably the next episode. The last time that I got onto podcast, I just put a few minutes up basically saying, please pray for my family. And I thought that I put it on a brand new day with Stephanie J as well, but I found out that I did not. And so the situation was this. I received the phone call from my cousin Diana. We always called her Dee Dee. And now that, she's a grown woman, she's a little older than I am, just basically call her Dee. And she called me very upset 2 Mondays ago and told me that our cousin Erica, who we grew up with, and her son James was shot and killed in her home in Philadelphia. And we were devastated, to say the least. This was so nerve-rattling. It was just unbelievable. I can just remember the feeling in the pit of my stomach when I heard that news, because I had no idea that it would be anything like that. If anything, I thought maybe something dealing with COVID or something with one of our older relatives. I totally was unprepared for that news. And we ended up staying on the phone. By the time I called her back that evening, I think around 10 something, we didn't get off the phone until after 1 o'clock. That morning we were just talking, and then we started going down memory lane, and we laughed a little bit when we got to certain stories about Erica and our childhood and just growing up, because Erica and I actually grew up around the corner from one another. It was Darlene, Erica, and Aaron. And unfortunately, I mentioned this before, Aaron was shot and killed in Philadelphia a few years ago by Philadelphia police officers. And it wasn't a situation where he was doing anything wrong or bad. I don't even to this day know all of the details, and that's not what I want to get into. It was just a very, very unfortunate incident in a time when there was so much going on, and quite a few people were killed in Philadelphia that week, and a few situations involved the police as well. And so it was very heartbreaking. And Aaron was the baby. In fact, I hadn't even mentioned this. I think Dee and I talked about it, but I hadn't thought about it. When Aaron was a baby, I was at my Aunt Donna's one day, and their mother preceded them in death back in 1989. I was there because I think I felt ill at school, and my mother wasn't home, so I was taken to my Aunt Donna's. And Aaron was a baby then. And my Aunt Donna sent me upstairs to get some things that she needed for him to change his diaper and stuff. And she had these metal stairs that did not have any type of carpet or anything on them. And I can remember this day like it was yesterday. I remember standing at the top of the stairs with all of this stuff in my hands. And for some reason, and I believe I was probably about 8 around this time, 8 or 9, I did not grab hold of the railing. I just stood at the top of the stairs, and when I went to put my foot down on the step, my foot got caught, and I went tumbling down the stairs, face first, and I had a gash on my eye. That's the first time that my eye was busted open. It happened a few more times, but I can remember seeing my Aunt Donna's shadow. She jumped up from the chair and she yelled my name, and she ran over to the stairs, and she was like, "Oh my Lord, oh Jesus." And she jumped on the phone and she called my mother. And I remember my father telling me, he walked all the way home from work that day. He didn't wait for a bus or anything. He was so upset, but they had to take me to the hospital and get my eyes stitched up. But that was Aaron. He was our baby, because at that time we were all, so much older. And so anyway, memories, right? But so the news really rocked me. It really did. And it wasn't until I got off the phone and started to try to talk about it that I really literally lost it. I literally lost control, and I just couldn't stop crying. And I can honestly say I really haven't had a decent night's rest since then. I've been hanging up late. There's been a lot on my mind. I've been waking up early in the morning. As much as I try to stop it, my mind just keeps going back to the scene and trying to picture what their last moments were like, what was going on. And it's not a good feeling. And many of you probably have experienced situations like this. It is extremely difficult. And it's difficult when I hear these things happening in the news and when they happen to other people. I am an empath. I have said that before. I can literally feel other people's pains, and I am heavily affected by bad news. And, that's just how I am. But when it happens to someone that is close to you, someone that you're related to, oh my goodness, it is extremely difficult to deal with. And naturally, I have been spending even more time in prayer. It causes you to want to get closer to the Lord and just bring your family, your children, and just keep everybody in prayer, because these are really dangerous and perilous times that we are living in. And this is one that I don't know if we will ever fully recover from something like this. And I do not have all of the details. It was in the news, and I read what they posted. It wasn't a lot, but then my cousin told me they believe that the guy who did it, because he was on camera leaving the home, had the audacity to leave through the front door and was caught on camera. And I don't know if it was a partial picture or what, but he, I believe, ended up being killed doing something to someone else. And it's like, wow, this is really crazy. And it's really sad that there are people walking around like this. And the thought just occurred to me thinking about it one day, that there are many more out here, and you just never know who or what you're dealing with. So I would definitely advise you to be very careful and to be very prayerful about the associations that you have in your life. You do not know, unfortunately, a lot of times who is in your company, what these people are doing, what their thoughts, their intents, or their motives are. That's why nobody comes up in my house and I don't go up in people's houses, and I don't get myself mixed up with people like that. I'm sorry. I just don't. It's too late in the game. You've heard me say that. I say it all the time on A Brand New Day with Stephanie J. And I am going to keep forecasting it. It is too late in the game to be playing around. And so the time has come, whereas the Bible says we need to make our calling and election sure. I am not going to spend all of my time worrying about building a brand, doing things in this world. I could care less about fame and fortune, and I haven't for many, many years. I care about where my soul is going to rest in eternity. I care about making an impact and a difference here for the kingdom, because I am an ambassador for Christ. And so if you listen to any of my podcasts, even going back to some of the old podcasts when I was just kind of playing around on SoundCloud before podcasting even became this big movement, I went back and I listened to a few, and I have to get back because I wanted to listen to the rest of them. I'm still talking the same thing, and this is many years later. I am not switching gears. I'm staying right here. I'm staying right where I am. And some things I just do not have time for. Some people I just do not have time for, because if you examine and evaluate a lot of what people do and where they are, some people are not growing. Some people are staying right where they are, and they just really, sometimes they just show you that they don't want anything different. When I'm trying to help you, when I'm trying to constantly talk to you, or someone else is trying to point you in a direction and you just want to stay at the same place, I'm sorry. It's like this. If a house was on fire, thought about this early in this morning when I woke up after 5 o'clock and I could not go back to sleep. So I just got up. But I had this thought. trying to rescue some people is, and this might sound a little funny because you might think, well, who would actually do this if a house was on fire? But just go along with me. The house is on fire, and you have one person in the room sleeping and another person is in the room on a game or sitting in front of a television with a remote control. And you're like, hey, the house is on fire. Let's get out of here. The house is on fire. And the person in the bed is like, well, you know what? I'm tired. I didn't get much rest. So I'm just going to stay. Hey, but the house is on fire. Get up out of that bed. And then you go in the room with the person with the game and you're like, or the television, you're like, hey, the house is on fire. We got to get out of here. We have to save our lives. And they're like, hey, I'm playing my game. Hey, my favorite show is on. Don't bother me. Would you, as the person trying to rescue these people, would you just stay behind and wait for them to get out of that burning house? Or would you turn around and run out to safety while you still can? Because you know, if the fire is burning, it's just going to continue and it will rage and it will get bigger and it will get more dangerous and some of the exits will begin to be blocked off. You know how it is. So unfortunately, it is like that, trying to rescue and save some people. The day and the time that we live in, I'm constantly telling people, hey, we have an enemy. He is out to, listen to this, kill. That's a gunshot sound effect, but it's not real. But he's playing for real. His weapons are for real. He comes to kill, steal, and to destroy. That's all he comes for. And the Bible says in Revelation, he knows that his time is short. So he wants company in that lake of fire. I am not going to be his company. I don't know about you, but I am not trying to leave this world and go to hell. Life is tough enough, but that is not my destiny. I am not going to spend eternity in a burning hell. And there is no one on the face of this earth that is worth me missing it to end up there. So you have to make your choice. We're all facing difficulties right now, and you have to sit down, as the Bible said. Jesus said, you sit down and you count the cost. You see if what you're dealing with, you see if the people that you're tangled up with, and it does not matter to me what relationship it is, because if you live long enough, you'll see things and people that are very close to you that you never thought you would see. Those are the very ones that the enemy will try to use even to sidetrack you. Yes, I understand the word of God says we are not wrestling with flesh and blood, but spirits and principalities and spiritual wickedness in high places. And you're seeing that like never before. But he's going to use people that can get close to you. And so you have to be very careful. You have to be very cautious in this day and time. And I hope and I pray that when it's all said and done, we all make the right choices. We all make the right moves. You have to have a discerning spirit in this day and time like never before. I believe I shared on an episode in A Brand New Day about how the Lord gifted me with that spirit of that gift of discernment in a public service. And I may share it one day. And when I get into my prophecy series about, what has been spoken over my life, but you need that like never before. You need to be very careful and cautious about the conversations you are having, people that you are tangling up your life with and intertwining, because you do not always know what a person may be trailing your way. So you have to be very careful. And I would solicit your prayers for my family as we continue on, and as we try to move on and heal from this tragedy. And as always, you, my listeners, I pray for everyone. I even have my listeners on my prayer board in my closet. So I am praying daily and just so grateful for you, for your time. And I just thank you. And you have a brand new day and a reset in this season. Hit that reset, whatever difficulties you are facing. Remember, Stephanie J says, you can start again. You can start anew. You can start fresh. Just hit that bell. That's right. Just hit that bell and remind yourself that it is not too late to start again. You be blessed and have a good day until we speak again.